Hey everyone, Adrian Valenzuela. One of my favorite movies is Titanic. It probably is not somebody's favorite, but it is mine because it includes everything that you need from drama, excitement, love story, underdog. So I love it all. Before I dive into the demo, the problem that we're solving, you have an exploding tech stack that's happening within your contact centers. We talk a lot about the automation, how we're providing automation around tier one and tier two interactions. So what ends up happening is these more complex interactions are hitting your supervisors and your agents. Your agents are the ones that are handling interactions. Your supervisors are trying to look at all this data and figure out again, what is it that I should focus on? And at the same time, based off all of their agents, who is it that I should help right now at this given moment, right? I'm logging in for my shift today. I'm probably going to be spending about half of my time just looking at all this data. But then again, how do I know that who I meet with throughout that day is going to really drive that performance and really impact the business metrics? And then again, like after all of this is said and done, is anyone actually measuring it? Is this effective? Are the coaching sessions actually driving performance, or are we thinking it might be an agent problem? So again, the results are facing, you got frustrated leaders, you got customers that are not happy, poor resolutions, high turnover, and then again, just agents that are just underperforming and supervisors not being able to truly understand on how to support their agents. So what we do here at Amplify is we create a specific dashboard for each of the different individuals, so each of the personas. So if you think about it, you have a dashboard for your agent, for your supervisor, for your manager, for your quality and training team, for your executives, and then obviously for your admin. So whenever an individual persona logs in, Amplify has already taken the first step in helping you as an organization by providing a dashboard with the visibility that each individual role would want to look at. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to dive into what it looks like for an associate. So when an agent logs in, and this is very important because we already know that in a standard brick and mortar environment, agents are coming in for their shift. There's a lot going on. If you've ever been on a contact center floor before, you'll know that it sounds like chaos, right? But also for those hybrid models or work from home, you don't have that chaos, but what you lack is having your supervisor or anyone there providing you with recognition the moment you walk through the front door. Hey, you did a really good job yesterday. Let's keep up the good work. So we solve for that problem. So we always want to provide recognition as well at the very beginning. So whenever an agent logs in, what Amplify is doing is looking at their previous 30, 60, 90 days of that agent's performance and finding the most impactful improvements that they've had. And we're going to personalize it. So right here, Sean is actually logging in. And when they log in, they're saying, hey, you're doing an awesome job. You have one of the top three scorecards on your team. Right away, I'm excited. I'm getting ready to start my day. So right away, when an agent logs in, what they're going to see are all of the metrics that are important to them based off what program they support. And so if they're supporting multiple programs, they can shift the view to look at each program to see exactly how they're performing. Really quick, what I'll show you is on the left-hand side here, now that agent that did not have the visibility before can see all of their metrics on one single view and see exactly where they're at, where I'm at for CSAT. Lishan is actually at a 86% when the goal is 90. But also, as we mentioned before, Amplify is also going to show you what a top performing persona can do at the agent level and all the way down to the metric level. So right here, I can see, hey, one of my peers is actually hitting a 99. That provides me confidence because it's not just my supervisor saying, hey, you need to get to a 90. I know that one of my peers sitting to my left or my right or in the same program as me is actually capable of hitting that metric. So it's providing me that ammo, that excitement to say, you know what, I can actually do it. Also, I can go back and look at my previous coaching sessions based off what the ones I had with my supervisor. I can see exactly what my commitment was, where am I actually tracking at that moment, and seeing when I have to actually hit that goal, when does it end? I can also chat with my supervisor within the application as well. So again, really helping that work from home model to where if I need to get something out to my supervisor really quick, I feel like I'm struggling still, I can go ahead and do that. So again, very clean look. I have all that information at my fingertips. I can see if it's a sales use case, how many sales have I had? What is my sales conversion at right now? I can see how much I've made in incentives as well. So that way, again, I can see where's my money at. If I need to improve my performance, I know exactly how I can reach that goal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as a supervisor, the supervisor that is managing the agents. It's going to have a similar view, but now it's going to be specific around the supervisor itself and then breaking it down by the agents. So right away, what I'm going to be hit with is a multi-quadrant view of all of the metrics that are important to me, as well as my daily game plan. So here, I'm going to see all of the metrics again that are important to me. I'm going to be able to quickly see where my team is at, where the program is at, but then again, that top performing persona, I'll see where another supervisor is at, one of my peers, what are they capable of doing? So again, giving me that visibility to see, hey, even though the goal is at a 90, I know that I can actually achieve beyond that goal because my peers are able to do it. Outside of that, what we'll see here is a daily game plan. We talked about this, right? There's a lot of data out there. Supervisors are overwhelmed with all the data, not necessarily understanding who do I coach, what do I coach them on, and again, driving me towards the actual behavior that's going to move the needle. So right here, what Amplify is going to do is we're going to take our customers' scorecard and we're going to balance all of these different metrics based off the weighting that is given to us so that we are prioritizing these coaching sessions and follow-ups based off what's important to the business. So now as a supervisor, I'm coming in as Sam, I can see exactly who I need to coach, who I need to follow up with, and who do I need to recognize. That's really important because sometimes supervisors don't know what to coach on and who to coach. They may coach a top performing agent on a specific metric, and that agent's already doing well. But since the supervisor doesn't have that right visibility, they might coach that agent to something and cause confusion, which is going to cause that agent to go back and handle those interactions and think they need to change something when they're already doing something well. So again, giving you that visibility, but it doesn't stop there. When I dive into my coaching sessions, Amplify is going to tell me, hey, you need to coach Jesse on first contact resolution. Jesse right now is performing at a 45. The program's at a 54. The goal is a 60. But then, hey, Adrian, slow down. Before you coach Jesse to first contact resolution, we've identified by pulling the data from your CCAS platform that, hey, this agent handles 5 different skill types. This is really important because traditionally, what I would see that I had to coach Jesse to FCR, I'd coach them blindly just to FCR, not necessarily driving down to the actual behavior that's making that metric go down. And what Amplify is saying, hey, based on the top performing persona and against the data of Jesse, Jesse only struggles with first contact resolution when it comes to skill type number 3. All right, perfect. Now I know that. But then as we pull in the analytics around the speech analytics and the QA data, it is also now telling me, hey, we know that first contact resolution is the problem, but the recommended behavior that you need to coach to is problem identification. So this is just showing you really quick on how we're bringing in all of this complex data and making it very simple and creating a simple path, driving that AI action to the supervisor when coaching an agent. So what I'll do is I'm just going to show you what that actually looks like now. When I dive into that coaching session, Amplify is going to tell you, okay, before you start that coaching session, again, hit the agent with that positive recognition. It's going to tell you, hey, Jesse is top 3 when it comes to customer sentiment. Again, starting that coaching session with opportunity, with recognition versus opportunity is going to make sure that we're driving the right type of engagement between the supervisor and the agent. Again, it is telling us what's the recommendation around coaching. Again, providing us interactions that are going to show us, hey, this is what the agent should be displaying. We can also record the coaching session so that way the supervisor does not have to worry about taking notes. They can come in here, provide all of the follow-ups, what it is that they're working on, how the agent's going to get better. But then when they come in here and provide that follow-up date, again, supervisors are not data scientists. And I think this is the last thing I'll wrap up with because it's very important. I've been once a supervisor before. I can tell you right now, when I coached an agent, I would put a random date. I'll just put it out 2 weeks and make them hit a goal of what the actual goal is, which is a 60. But what Amplify is doing by looking at all the data, if I go in here and say I want to meet with the agent next week on the 8th, it is going to provide me a smart goal to say, hey, Adrian, give them a goal of 54. Right now they're at a 45. This is the most realistic goal that the agent can hit. So we're not giving them something that they're not capable of hitting and creating that wrong morale, right? So when the agent and you meet with them next week, the likelihood that they'll hit a 54 is going to happen. Again, creating that more positive experience. So again, you can see how we're taking all of this data together and driving AI action so the supervisor can focus on what's most important, and that is coaching the agent.
That's great. And when we say role specific, this is exactly what we mean. The agent has what they need at their fingertips. The coach has what they need at their fingertips. So thank you so much, Adrian.